Hello, everyone. Here I am. Hold on. Let me make sure I can look at hey. All right. We already got Vengeance Fall in the house and Nicholas Fisher. Can everybody hear me? Everything all good. Greg, what's up, Greg? Everything sounding good? Let me get some feedback real quick just to make sure. Lewis, how you doing? All right. Come on. Just everybody let me know everything's all good. You can see me. You can hear me. All right. Thanks, Nicholas. And hi, Anar, thank you for being here. Everybody, welcome to the Old Head 5th year anniversary celebration and Q&A. So cheers. Look at my beer glass. Very nice. All right. Vengeance, you got this same shirt. So I was a little bummed out because I was late getting these shirts. I think was it Joe that told me? Joe told me that they had these on their website. And then when I got there, they were already sold out, but they had these on Amazon. The only problem is these don't have tour dates on the back. And I'm like, that's kind of a bummer, but at least I got a cool Sound of White Noise Anthrax t-shirt. All right, hold on. Who else do we have here? Matt 101. How you doing? Lewis, am I still playing drums for Lamb of God? What does that mean? Don't they have a different drummer? Do I look like that drummer? Who do I look like from Lamb of God? I feel like I look like an amalgamation of everybody in Lamb of God at the same time. Yes, Greg, I did. And Matt 101. I'm sorry. You know what? I can show these. There you go. Look at that. I got the James Hetfield signature snake bite for Christmas. Nice. That's a good Christmas right there. Okay, so I'm going to give it another minute maybe for more people to get here before I kind of start things. I don't really have a plan. So, Vengeance Falls. This is what I get a lot. You look like Morton, in my opinion. I've had people literally just pass me by and be like, Mark Morton. I'm like, no. I always say something funny like, that's my cousin or something. Yeah, but he's not. So we're here tonight to celebrate me doing this for 5 years. Old Head started 5 years ago yesterday. And originally it was just going to be a podcast. In fact, for the first month or two, it was just a podcast. Worst reviews, what's up? Thanks for being here. And then eventually I was like, well, other people are doing, videos type shit. And I have an iPhone that makes videos. So I'm going to do that too. And then the old head channel, Nicholas Fisher says, you look like the guy on the YouTube channel called Old Head. That's true. I do look kind of like that guy. And so really, I haven't done a live stream since a year ago when we celebrated the 4th year anniversary of Old Head. But 5 years, that's a big milestone, heading into year 6 of me doing this. And so I thought what we would do is, I'll do a live stream for everybody out there. I might, in a little bit, I'll sprinkle in some tidbits about what I plan on doing in this year in 2024. But for the most part, this is all about you guys asking questions. And I'm going to see. Yeah, another drink here. Anar said it's 2 a.m. and he had to switch to Carlsberg's. Okay. Hey, but you have options. So that's a good thing. So thanks everybody for being here. I'll probably say that a lot. But you guys are the best. And I'm glad that you're all here. Alan, what's up? And yeah, five years. And so, I guess, if you guys have questions, throw them in there. Now I'm going to say the same thing. I think I've said it every live stream I've done. If your question is like an either or question, I may just give you the answer with no context because I'm just like, let's move on to another question. So Met 101 says, any new vinyls for Christmas? So no, not really, because I just buy myself records all year long. And so I got my daughter a starter record player and a few records, and I'm still buying her records. So her Christmas/birthday is, it's ongoing because her birthday is coming up at the end of this month. Lewis Wainwright, have you listened to Sleep Token or Spirit Box? I've listened to both of them. I'm not really a fan of either one. Spirit Box has some stuff that's okay. Sleep Token, neither one of those bands are bad. There's a few of these bands that are like the bigger sort of modern metal bands that are kind of pushing boundaries and stuff. And they're not pushing them in any way that's necessarily new or interesting. And so it doesn't really do much for me, but it's all really quality stuff. So I can't really say much about it. It's just they're bands. They're not bands that I have an opinion on one way or the other. You could play me a song and I could go, yep, that was good, but it's not going to make me buy the album. So hold on. We got more people here. Hold on. Trying to keep track, guys. When Good Dogs Do Bad Things says 45 is the new 25. Yeah, I feel 25 most days. Some are a prelude to death. Yeah, I'm going to be 46 in March. So that's a thing. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I still feel very young, just because anytime I see like people I went to high school with or other people online that are like, I was born in the 70s, and they all seem like boomers now. And I'm just like, what happened to us? Like, I'm not one of you. I don't know. All right. So hold on. We've got Among the Joes is here, and he's asking, are you wearing your... Yeah. I don't know. So, Joe, you told me to get this on Amazon, but unfortunately, it's not the one that has the tour dates on the back, and that's kind of a bummer. But it's still, it's still cool. I'm still glad that they were selling some John Bush merch, because that's... Charlotte asked, have you reviewed Paul Liddell's new band, Scream Therapy? I haven't even heard Paul's band, Scream Therapy. So I'll have to check them out. I don't really do a whole lot of reviews anymore. I have on Old Bollocks, I do some album reviews, but I'll check that out. I know I got to check out, I know Dangerous Toys is coming through Houston in February, I think. And I'm not sure. I'm going to try to go. Just because Jason McMaster is a fucking killer dude. And we're now, I don't know, we're kind of buds. Jason, you tell me. We buds now? Anyway, Nicholas Fisher said, turn 22 on Tuesday. I'm going to start saying everybody's last names, because that just, the font makes it cool. Yeah, that's true. Greg, gotta love Bush. Yep. We love a little Bush around here in the camp of Old Head. So, yeah. So I guess while there's more people here, like I'll talk a little bit about what I'm going to be doing, because I'm not doing a lot of new stuff. It's kind of some of it's going to be the same old old head stuff. I can tell you all right now, I can announce that I will be reviving bands you should know. It's not going to be like regular, like I'm not going to do a shitload of them, but I am going to do more episodes of bands you should know, because that's the number one thing that people mention. It's like, well, when are you going to do more of those? And honestly, there's not a lot of bands that I'm like, everybody needs to know this band, but there are a good amount that I go, well, these are bands that don't get talked about a lot, and I like them, so I'm just going to start doing that kind of thing. So there'll be some more bands you should know. And then also, I will be starting a new series, and we're going to see how it goes. But for a little while, I was doing that show called Old Head Bangers Ball, and I'm not bringing that back necessarily. There were limitations with doing that show. First off, calling it Old Head Bangers Ball and people expecting it to be Headbangers Ball. And I'm like, you don't get it. There's spaces in the words. But it, and then running into issues where I couldn't play music videos I wanted to play. But I'm going to do a version of that, which I'm going to call the Watchening. And each episode is actually going to be different. Whatever idea comes to me, because some of it might be, I'm going to play an entire old school metal VHS and watch it and, do my whole old head shit along with it. Another one could be some music videos. Another one could be something completely different that I decide to watch. But it's just going to be an episode where it's kind of one theme per episode of me in my room watching shit. What do we got here? Dak Taylor, yo, hello. I'm glad that you're here. Nicholas Fisher got Armored Saints March of the Saint for Christmas. Nice. What do we got here? Vengeance Falls. I know you're not a big gamer, but what did you think of the Guitar Hero games? The only Guitar Hero game I played was Guitar Hero Metallica for obvious reasons. And I had fun playing it, but I'm not a big gamer, so I don't really get to the point where I get addicted to games and want to play them a lot. So I kind of went through and I played all the songs that I wanted to play, and then I got really bored with the game because I was like, I'm going to do something else. But Dak says, hello from Conroe. All right, everybody. So, so that'll be happening. And then another thing, so for a year, I was doing quote unquote radio shows. For a little while, it was on an app called AMP that's now defunct. And then for maybe a month or two, I was doing this other app called Station Head. And it was basically me trying to be able to do shows where I could actually play music. And because I've always wanted to do that, a music show where I can like DJ or whatever. And so I got burnt out on the Station Head app because I don't like the way that it works. But I've hatched a plan to do something special that, if it works, will become a regular monthly thing. And what I'm planning on trying to do is it's going to be an old head show that's strictly on Zoom. So earlier in the week of the show, I'll be putting out posts everywhere that have a link to the Zoom meeting. And so this isn't a thing where it's on YouTube or on some app, people can stumble upon it. No, it's like you specifically have to want to come to this show, and everybody can come to the Zoom meeting, and I will have prepared a set of songs, and I'll put on the old head show via Zoom. Meaning, if I wanted to do it, I can incorporate everybody being on board and talking and whatever. I don't know if that's what I'm going to do with it, but I know that I'm going to try the first one, the first Friday of February. So a little less than a month. And so keep an eye out for that, because it's literally going to be, you have a link to go to it and that's it. Like you can go, the link will be available on all my socials and stuff, and you can go to that. And it's like, just like a little, do you want to come over to my party or not? I don't have to go to somebody else's building in order to throw my party. I'm just throwing my own party. So, Vengeance Falls had a good point. The fact that I can't hear music on Station Head and have to subscribe to Spotify is a pain in the ass. Yeah. So I don't want to have to do that either. I want to be able to play all the songs that I want to play and have complete control over when they play and how they play, and be able to talk to the people that actually give a shit about being there. And then that's what I'm going to be doing. So look out for that first week of February. Hey, Djarmwid. Is that close enough? Thank you for being here. And yeah, all of you that have been to those radio shows, that was a really fun year for me. There were some ups and downs here and there, a lot nobody really even knows about, but I had a good time doing that, and so I want to continue doing something where I can play music. And the Zoom thing is just a way to be able to do it. There's no copyright issues because it's literally just like having a little meeting and a get together and playing music. So, okay, thanks, Greg. You guys can read that. I won't read that out loud. Okay, fine. If I knew it was going to be that kind of party, I'm going to stick my dick into mashed potatoes. Anyway, so yeah. So right now, those are the big plans. Obviously, I'm continuing 30 years ago this month. And what else do I normally do? Record roulette occasionally will show up on my channel, and interviews whenever I have some interviews coming along, because I don't really, I'm on lists where people offer interviews a lot, and I don't do interviews with anybody that I'm not excited to talk to. So you're never going to get me just phoning in an interview. So sometimes that's going to mean I do 2 or 3 interviews in a row, and sometimes I don't do an interview for 6 months, just because I'm just kind of waiting for something to come together that I can be really excited about. So another drinky. Once again, thanks everybody for being here, and keep the questions coming. What does this say? Dak Taylor. Since you've been in Houston, have you ever listened to Sweet Nightmares or Dead Time radio shows on KPFT 90.1 FM? No, because I don't have a radio. So I don't, and I know there's radio apps and stuff, but I don't know anything about local radio shows because I don't listen to the radio ever. And so I don't know, but I'm assuming those are shows that play cool metal or rock stuff. And that's awesome. I'd like to hear those sometimes. But no, I have not. But Houston has been really good to me so far. Like, it is a city that I just really like. I feel good being here. It's a very diverse, gigantic city, and I just love the fact that anywhere I go, I can have like a completely different experience with the people that are there. It's really cool. Literally like a melting pot, like you hear about in Houston. And and more unboxings. Love that. So yeah, I don't have it so far. There's nothing new that's coming. But what are big albums from '94 that somebody could be doing a box set for? We already figured out that Alice in Chains is not doing Jar of Flies, any kind of box or anything like that, because that came out this month. So, all right, Met 101. I like this. Keep the questions coming. What's your favorite cassette tape you own? Probably. I have a copy of State of Euphoria by Anthrax on cassette, which is one of my favorite albums ever, but it's one of the ones that comes with a, what do you call it? One of those colorful, like hologram type stickers inside of it. So I really like that one. I also like speaking of Alice in Chains, I have the Tripod album that's on the colored cassette. It's got the colored case and the purple cassette. Those are pretty cool. And then, Biohazard State of the World Address. I have the orange cassette of that. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I don't have a lot of cassettes, but I've got some cool ones. Met 101. Mine is Testament, The Ritual. So I need the Ritual out on vinyl. I need that. I need that. Right now, that is the only Testament album I don't have, is The Ritual. So that is the right one, right? I always get like the albums mixed up. The Gathering, The Ritual, The Legacy. Yes, I'm talking about the right one. Among the Joes, do I have any Dark Angel on vinyl? I don't. Those are not cheap, and I don't really want a repressing of those. But one day that'll be something I come across. Vengeance Falls. Hold on. Are there any new bands you've gotten into lately? You got me loving Frozen Soul with their record Glacial Domination. I love that record from Houston. Not from Houston, from Dallas. No, from Texas, whatever. So new bands, probably the newest thing that I haven't really talked about on my channel is that I've talked about it on radio shows, is that band Slope from Germany. And they have a new album coming out. Freak Dreams is the name of the album, and I absolutely love it. I've already got an advanced copy of it, and so I've gotten to hear the whole thing. It doesn't come out till I think February 3rd, but it's great. They're like, I guess, kind of like a hardcore band, but they decided to do funk metal, but it's really kind of out there funk metal. Like it's hard to explain. It reminds me of an album that would have come out 90, 91, but they're young guys, and I really like them. Slope. Tried to get an interview with Slope, and I was told by their handlers or whoever works for the label that my channel does not have a big enough reach to be beneficial to them. So, unfortunately, not yet. I will not be interviewing Slope, but I would like to. Let's see. Hold on. What do we got? Jelani, thanks for being here. From Florida. Nice. I'm good. We're celebrating the 5 years of me doing this shit. And you guys being here. Because I know everybody always says that. Like, we're nothing without the fans. And I don't call you guys fans. You guys are shitheads. You guys, that's what it's referred to. We've determined that. Shitheads. And I mean that lovingly. But really, like, if nobody was ever watching my shit, I would have quit. The fact that there's, even though it's, 14,000 plus subscribers in 5 years, there was still always slow but steady growth. And I always saw that people were watching what I was doing. And so that kept me doing it because it's fun. And so if I have fun and other people are enjoying it too, then that's fucking great. So you guys make this shit worth it. Like Vengeance Falls here, shitheads for life. Porkins, what's up? Proud shithead. Thank you very much. And you guys fucking rule. Matt, are you asking a question to Greg Bob? No, but Greg Bob, do you like the Fillmore version that's acoustic and electric? Yeah. Anyway, Return to Serenity is a fucking great song. Great song. Love it. Anyway. It's slowing down here. Anybody got questions? I got nothing to do tonight but hang out with you guys. So what else do I have going on in 2024? I don't know. That's about it. Oh, I am going to be doing some other random sort of like one-off shows or one-off, I don't know, little short series. I'll be doing something called House Fire 25, where I try to pick out if somebody told me in the future that I was about to have a house fire and I was only able to save 25 of my records, what 25 would they be? That's not referring to albums. That's referring to literally vinyl. So they may not be records that are like my favorite records of all time, but they may be ones that are very special to me or expensive or whatever. So that'll be the House Fire 25. And then if I can get myself to do it, I will be doing the Desert Island 25, which is literally 25 albums I can't live without. That I've been working on that for 2 years. I cannot agree on 25 and leave it alone. Anyway, hold on. Hold on. We've got more. Dak asked, what am I drinking? The cheap beer, Keystone Light over here. It just looks nicer in one of these things, doesn't it? And let's see. Nicholas Fisher, what's your favorite rap single on vinyl that you own? The singles. I don't really know. I have a 12-inch of Me, Myself, and I by De La Soul. That one's pretty great. Yeah, that's probably one of my favorites, just because I love that song. I love De La Soul. Let's see. Vengeance, I really didn't prepare because I was just overly excited for this stream. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that you were excited. I'm glad you're here. Met 101, how much do you like Living Color's Cult of Personality? I know you're a huge fan of the band. I wish I had that on vinyl. I absolutely love that song. That song never gets old, ever. That song never starts and I go, oh, this one again? Never. And I love so many of their songs much more than that one, but that one never gets old at all. Greg Bob, if you do a Cranked and Ranked on Therapy, let me know. I'd love to help with info. Love that band. That's what Therapy is on the list. So we will eventually get to that. Like I always say, our list is really long. I'm not even kidding. There's so many, and all of them have something about them that I'm excited about doing. So we'll get to them. Devin, thanks for being here. Are there any vinyl reissues you're looking forward to buying soon? Have they announced any reissues? Like, I don't know if there's any reissues that they've announced that I'm excited about. I don't think so far. I don't think so. I'm always keeping my eyes out for on all of the socials and just for something to pop up, because I never want to be the person that fucking misses some album that I've been waiting for them to repress. I would like them to do that fourth Saigon Kick album on vinyl, and I don't know who handles that shit, but yeah. Let's see. All right, they're getting away from me. I'm trying to keep it all in line here, everybody. Among the Joes, do you still have band t-shirts that you bought when you were a young head? No, I don't have anything from when I was a young head. I went through a phase, because you have to remember, this was the early 90s. So by the time we reached around 1995, I had a bunch of probably maybe like 100 or so records, not a lot, and cassettes and everything else. But at that point, CDs had taken over everything, where CDs was the cool thing to get. So I was all about upgrading and getting CDs. And then eventually I just sold everything. And same thing with t-shirts. T-shirts would get a little bit old, because I would buy shirts and I would just wear them. So they would never last. And once they started to get worn and ugly looking, I would just throw them out, not thinking anything about the value they may have to me when I was older. I was an idiot. So all of my stuff was amassed once I had the money to actually start building the collection that I should have. I would say probably a good couple dozen records in my collection are ones that I bought again, because I was like, why the fuck did I get rid of this? But hold on. Oh, shit. I'm trying to keep up, guys. I apologize. Good one, Greg. That's what she said. Let's see. Anar just pulled the trigger on a 100+ record today. What's the latest 100+ record? I don't pay more than 100 for records. I will let you know that I recently got that Aftertaste from Helmet on vinyl, and I did pay $70 for that, and that's a lot for me. And that's so I always like have them in my Discogs, and I wait for those people that are just trying to get rid of records. I don't know if I've ever paid over 100 for a record before. If I have, I don't remember. But what was the record that you paid $100 for? Put that in the chat. Okay. Worst reviews. I love Cranked and Ranked, of course, but especially love the ones where you rank albums from different years. We're going to keep doing that. We have plenty of years of the 70s, 80s, and 90s to go. And then once we get done with those, we may even start dipping into the 2000s, which is going to be weird for me, because especially the first like 10 years of the 2000s, because we're still in the 1900s. We're talking about the 1900s. Oh my goodness. Everybody realize that we're now in the 20s? The roaring 20s, everybody. All right. Vengeance Falls says, Cranked and Ranked on Buckethead? Okay, I'm kidding. That'd be ridiculous. So I don't know a lot about Buckethead. All I know is that clips of him will randomly come up, like on the TikToks or something. And I'm always like, that's cool as shit. Does his music always sound kind of fucking weird and groovy? Because I can get on board with that, but I don't know enough about him. He was just the guy that was with Axl in the early 2000s or late 90s or something like that. So I don't know much more about him. Met 101, waiting on Metallica Live Shit reissue. The anniversary already passed. So if they were going to do it, wouldn't they have already done it? I don't know. I don't understand those guys. They need to get their shit together. Anyway, let's see. When good dogs do bad things. I go uptown. I come back. Oh, with me, myself, and my microphone. Yeah, that is Run DMC with who do they do that with on Judgment Night? I'm blanking right now. Anyway, any plans to do more hip hop cranked and ranked bands this year? Yes, always. They're always in the list, and we sprinkle them in every once in a while. But there's so many rock and metal bands that we've got a lot of work to do. Nicholas Fisher got my cousin hooked on the song Sticky Weed. That song has become a regular play for me. Hell yeah. I love that song. That's by a German band called Freaky Fucking Weirdos. Go check it out. It's rap metal from the early 90s. And it's like an earworm to me. I don't know. Met 101, do you have any memories and thoughts about your Metallica show that wasn't in the video log? Oh, the last one. Not really. I think I said everything that I kind of wanted to say in that. I had a really great time, and my thoughts about it are the same that they always are, which is I wish that one day they would do a tour specifically for the really big fans, and they announce the tour as, we're not playing any of the songs that we've played, I don't know, a certain number of times. So we're not playing one, Inner Sandman, Nothing Else Matters. We're not playing any of those songs. We're not playing Creeping Death or For Whom the Bell Tolls or any of those things. I want them to focus on all of the songs that they don't normally play, and that is the set list they're going to do for the OGs, not the OGs, because some of the OGs think that most of that shit sucks. I don't. I would like them to play a whole bunch of shit they don't normally play, and that's their concert. I would love that. If I was a millionaire, maybe a billionaire, probably costs a lot of money. I would try to get them to come play a birthday party for me, and I would make their set list, and I'd be like, look, I'm going to pay you $10 million, and you will play Saint Anger in its entirety, followed by these songs that I've that I've included in my list. All right, hold on. Let's see. Porkins. The only concert t-shirt I still have it from the 90s is my Don't Tread on Me shirt from seeing them at the Forum in 92. Nice. Helmet Betty needs a reissue. I agree. I have the OG one on the 10-inch vinyl, which has extra tracks. But yes, it absolutely does. Soothsayer is my favorite by Buckethead. All right, I'll have to check out some Buckethead. All right. Oh, okay. It is Run DMC in Living Color. Okay. I should have known that. Oh, here we go. Buckethead has 300 plus releases. That would be a long ass episode. Would it be as long as Chicago? we were going through that in the last episode. How many fucking Chicago albums there are. But we'll get to Chicago and probably Buckethead. Let's see. Oh, the one that Anar bought was by a Norwegian band called Siegmund. They did an English-speaking version of Metropolis called the Grandmaster Recordings. Okay. All right, nice. Everybody, Chris Heathcote is in the house. Everybody show some love to Chris Heathcote. He was somebody that, he's been following me for a while, but when it comes to my radio shows, he was at pretty much every single one that I did. So Chris is a major shithead. And yeah, so thanks for being here, Chris. Let's see. All right. Sorry, guys, not to have some dead air. Oh, this is for everyone. Greg, what is everyone's favorite concert? I don't know what my favorite concert is. Honestly, the best experience that I've had at a show probably ever in my life was this last, the Wrecking Ball Metal Madness I went to, which is more than one concert. It's a shitload of bands, but everything about that weekend and that venue and those bands and the people that were there, that was such a really cool experience. And it was great. Like, it was just one of those things where there was never a moment where there was some jerk off causing problems. I don't remember there being rude people. It was just hardcore and death metal music and a bunch of super cool people. And so that's great. But, I don't know. I went to other shows back in the day that were cool too, but seeing At the Drive-In in a very small, tiny venue. Not only that, my band headlining over at the Drive-In on a tennis court. That was a very good show back in the 90s. That's a real thing that happened. And, but yeah, let's see. Yeah, Chris Heathcote. He says, that's right, old head. I'm a major shithead. For those who don't know, I'm the son of Bob Heathcote, who played on Suicidal record, How Will I Laugh Tomorrow? Yeah, rest in peace, Bob Heathcote. But yeah, Chris's dad played bass on How Will I Laugh Tomorrow? So that iconic album cover, I believe it's on the far left, is Chris's dad. So rest in peace, Bob. And let's see. Met 101 Anthrax Live was like that, just really cool. So when I saw Anthrax the last time, it was ruined for me because of one dude in the crowd. And I talked about this on a Cranked and Ranked, because I was literally me and then two people in front of me. That's how close I was to Anthrax this last time. But it so happened that the guy in front of me was this kind of big dude, and I don't mean big like built. He was just a big hunk of dude, and he refused to move for the entire show. Didn't clap, didn't raise his hands, didn't nod his head. He just stood there, and apparently he was protecting his girlfriend who was in front of him. So he had his hands on the barricade and he just stood there. And anytime there was moshing, where naturally the crowd would be moving, he would push back on me. Like, the dude looked like a dude that did not want to be there. He looked like a dude that wanted to go to fucking I don't know, a Modest Mouse concert or some shit. And that dude fucking sucks. Like, and just to tell everybody out there, tell all your friends, look, if you're just going there and you're gonna fucking stand there at a metal show in the front, then sorry, standings for the back. I know, I do that a lot. Some bands, I go to the front. Very rare. Very rare. Oh, hey, hello, Colin. Thanks for being here. You look a lot like James Hetfield. Big fan. I discovered your channel from Slashed and Mashed of Load and Reload. Nice. I listen to your guys' podcast when I'm at work. It definitely helps get me through the day. Thank you very much. That's awesome. Honestly, that's all. Usually that's kind of what's on my mind when we do our shows. Whenever we look at each other and go, oh man, this one's going on kind of a long time. I'm like, somebody out there is having a day at work and we're helping them out. So, it's awesome. Isak, I saw Kiss in 10 as a kid. It was cool. Nice. Rest in peace, Kiss, who will now live on as avatars. I don't know what that means. Look, I love Kiss, but I need more explanation. What does that mean? Anyway, Anthrax in Chicago recorded live for DVD on Music for Master Street. Did you go to that, Greg? I have that DVD. I'm going to watch it again and look for you if you're there. Oh, that if you were next to me at an Anthrax show, you would hear me singing every lyric. Oh, no, me too. I was hoarse. You could barely hear me talk when that show was over. Matt 101, do you know the band Killswitch Engage? Yeah, I saw them several years ago open for Anthrax, actually. I recommend the End of Headache album. I'm not. They're another band that they're more on the modern side of things, and I don't. I've never really. Nothing I've heard from them has really ever grabbed me. That doesn't mean it won't ever happen. Maybe it'll be later on down the line. You never know. Oh, this is a good one. I saw Faith No More with Helmet opening in '92. They broke the stage and never got invited back. It was awesome. Yeah. Faith No More and Helmet in '92. Like, that's insane. So like in 92, I was 14 and I wasn't going to any shows. There was a thing in Austin where I used to live for a little while where so many venues were 18 and up. So even if my folks had been cool with me going to a show, I wouldn't have been able to get in. And the weird thing is that there were certain clubs that were notorious for being 18 and up only. And when I turned 18, most of those clubs went to 21 and up. I'm just like, all right, I can't fucking win. Whatever. Anyway, let's see. Oh, Greg saw Faith No More and Helmet that year too. Man. See, you guys that are just a handful of years older than me, or older, I don't know. That's the only thing. I like the time that I grew up in because I like the person that it turned me into. But there's a part of me that goes, man, it would have been nice you know, because 1991, the fall of 1991, Nirvana came through and played one of the smaller venues because they hadn't blown up yet, but Nevermind was out, and I would have loved to have seen that. I've just seen them at essentially a club. It was a slightly bigger club, but it was a club. So that would have been cool. So yeah, Vengeance Falls. Have you ever revisited Trivium? I revisit. So bands like Trivium, Kill Switch, Avenged Sevenfold, all of these bands are bands that they're big enough to where their songs kind of come across my radar every once in a while, and I always give it another shot. And a lot of times it's just like, yeah, it's fine, but it doesn't make me very excited. Except for that last Avenged Sevenfold album, which I was totally shocked I liked as much as I did. And then other people are like, it's the worst thing they ever did. I'm like, well, that makes sense. All right, let's see. Yeah, Trivium is great. Matt is awesome. Yeah, Matt, he produced the Frozen Soul album. And that's him, right? Matt Heafy or Heffy, how do you pronounce his name? So, I mean, he worked with them. So, shit, the dude's got to be fucking cool. Okay, so when good dogs do bad things, said Vulgar Display, and I think Deicide Legion too in 92. Yeah, there's a whole lot of great shit in 92. All right, Dan, thanks for being here. Are you into Norwegian black metal? Absolutely not. Not at all. Some of it, I enjoy the vibe, the ambiance, the old school stuff. Like when I know that the shit sounds shitty because the band's literally nobody was supporting them and they were just recording shit in their garages or however they could. I love the story of all that kind of shit. I'm not really into the music. But yeah, especially newer black metal where I don't know what's happening with some of it's good. There's that band. This is not Norwegian, so I apologize for straying off of that. But there's a band from England called Svalbard, and they're on the black metal edge of things, and I like what they do, but theirs is way more melodic, and maybe that's what it is. I don't really know. But that doesn't make any sense either because there's other metal that's called melodic, and it doesn't really do anything for me. I'm kind of a tough customer when it comes to a lot of things. And but none of it's bad. Like that's the thing. You're never going to hear me talk shit about black metal or I don't know, modern, would you call it butt rock, all that kind of shit? Because every once in a while there's a song where I go, it's pretty fucking cool. And so I don't. That's why you don't see me do videos where I'm talking about shit that I don't like, because one, what a huge waste of time that is. Two, I'm going to feel stupid when 10 years from now I'm really into Norwegian black metal. so I'm just, I'm cool. Let's see. Matt 101, who is your favorite guitar player? That's a real tough one because the guitar players that I love are usually not the guys that are flawless, fluid, virtuoso kind of players. They're the ones that are very good, but you can sometimes hear mistakes, and I love the human element of those kind of things. Alex Lifeson from Rush is a really big one for me. Rhythm guitar wise, it's fucking James Hetfield. But yeah, a lot of the guitarists that I seem to gravitate towards all seem to have a much more sort of organic, I guess, vibey kind of thing with their guitar. But at the same time, I adore Eddie Van Halen. Like and Vito Bratta from White Lion. That dude. Yeah, I'm telling you right now. Like I think that the Vito Bratta solo in the song "Wait" may be my favorite guitar solo ever, even on top of the Blackened solo from Kirk Hammett. Because there's something about it. It's so fucking beautiful. It's so beautiful. Anyway, so yeah, I'm kind of all over the place with, I like some guitar players that are looked upon as great guitar players from other people. Jerry Cantrell, he's fucking great too, but he's a very different kind of guitar player than some of these other ones. When I was younger, I was really into Page Hamilton just because I learned to play a lot of his stuff and I liked that style. And if you listen to the music that I make, there's a whole lot of Page Hamilton worship. Although I don't really like newer Helmet, but yeah, hold on. Here we go. Isak, how do you feel about black gays? I'm an ally for any gay people, no matter what color they are. That is true, but also a joke. No, that sounds like two things that I probably wouldn't. It would probably be very good sort of background music, like shoegaze. Oh, I got a thumbs up. What does that mean? Why is there a thumbs up? A thumbs up just appeared. I don't know how this works. Things pop up and I don't know what they mean. Anyway, yeah, I don't know much black gaze. It's not on my radar really, but it sounds like probably something that it wouldn't have what I need. I'm a very anxious person, and heavy, loud, energetic music calms me down. So stuff that isn't that, I can listen to it and go, I see why this is fucking cool, but it doesn't really make me want to go listen to it. So anyway, Chris Heathcote, Carcass and At the Gates are the closest I listen when it comes to melodic death metal. I mean, Carcass to me is in a league of their own. I don't even know what to call them. They're just fucking Carcass. It's one of my favorite bands ever. All right, hold on. Let me see. Oh, hey, Tom. What's up, Tom? Hold on. I'm gonna highlight you here. Congrats on 5 years. I remember finding you while searching for Anthrax record reviews 4 years ago. I love that. I love being associated with Anthrax. That's probably my favorite thing now. Now that I've done 5 years and I've done a lot of videos. I don't know how many videos I've done, but I've done at least one, if not 2 or 3 every week since I started. And so now sometimes I'll Google a band and I will come up and I'm just like, that's fucking cool. So anyway, that's just me patting myself on the back. Chris Heath, Glenn Cummings had recently put out a demo of a Never Before Scatter. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm actually, I don't know about a Scatterbrain reunion, but I'm going to try to, that's one of the things I'm going to work on in 2024. I've been chatting with one of the members of Scatterbrain, and I going to plant the seed of, hey, let's try to get as many members of Scatterbrain as possible to do an interview. Whoever can make it. Let's figure out a time frame. Whoever can make it, everybody come on. I'm gonna try to do that. So I don't know. We're gonna see. Let's see. Chris Etho, Doug Pinnick is a black gay. Yeah, I love Doug Pinnick. I love black gays. I love King's X. I love all of those things. Let's see. Greg, okay, we're running the joke into the ground. Black metal, like Living Color, or 24/7 Spies. Yes, both of those. That we've run that video into the ground. Worst reviews. You have 551 vids. Holy shit, Now, a good chunk of those are cranked and ranked, but 551 videos. Wow. Okay. Oh, hey, Johnny G. Huge White Lion fan here. I heard that Mike Tramp played in Eagle Pass, Texas a few months ago. Vito is an awesome guitarist. Yeah. I kind of wish, because as far as I know, Vito kind of became a recluse or something, and he doesn't do very much and isn't seen out very much, but I wonder if he knows that many people love what he did. And so I would like him to come back out and do something. Maybe not with Mike Tramp. I don't know if I feel like they don't get along, but Devin, are there any vinyl purchases that you've made that you've ended up regretting? Not really. Probably the biggest one, I don't regret it that much because there's no other version of it on vinyl, is Anthrax Stomp 442. And I did a whole video on it, on how it's probably the worst reissue I've ever seen in my life. Sound-wise, it's fine, but given the care that went into the actual reproduction of the packaging, it leads me to believe that they just took a CD and pressed it onto a record and then put it out. But if it sounds fine, because I'm not that picky about that kind of thing. But also, I'm gonna do a whole video of these soon. But I very recently went down sort of a rabbit hole of buying bootlegs, vinyl bootlegs, because there's like, I've noticed that there's some newer small record labels that are doing bootlegs of live shows and other stuff. And I really kind of was interested to know what the quality is like. And I found somebody that was selling a whole bunch. And so I ended up, getting a discount and getting like a big chunk of them. And honestly, for the most part, I've been very surprised with how good they are, except for one. Some of you may have seen it. There's one that's Anthrax and Public Enemy from 1991. It's actually the same concert that's on Live Noise, the DVD VHS they put out, but it's the FM radio broadcast of that. I would never have put that record out because it's funny how it's also Anthrax, but the sound of it, you have to turn it way up first off, but then the mids and the lows are so higher than all of the highs that it's just the worst. I can't even explain it. It's awful. It's awful sounding and really difficult to listen to. Anyway, that's really all I can think of right now. Let's see. Met 101. What's the song of the new year that you like right now? Right now. What is the name of that group? Hold on. This is from last year. I would have to say my song of right now is a song called Boys in the Band by a British group called Lambrini Girls. And it's like garage rock, really angry shit. And I absolutely love it. Lambrini Girls is what it's called. They have one EP out, but it is so great. It's just urgent and in your face and I don't know. It's fucking great. Boys in the Band by Lambrini Girls is probably my song of right now. That'll probably change in a week or two. Let's see. Vengeance Falls. I normally listen to Cranked and Ranked while in dialysis. Yeah, Vengeance Falls. Everybody send him some good vibes. That really helps me out because sitting in one spot for 3 hours is boring as hell. Yeah, fuck yeah. I can understand that. But I'm glad that we can be there for you. So there more of those are coming. A lot more. Zaperl, happy 5 years old head. Thank you very much. I appreciate you being here. And yeah. So hold on. You know what? Finish that one off. Let's pour another one, shall we? All right. For those of you who are interested, nobody's interested. I feel like I'm doing a podcast too, but I'm not doing a podcast. Maybe I'll post this as a podcast for people that can't be here. I was pouring a beer. Could you hear it? It was a little ASMR. Can you hear the fizzies? I don't know. All right, so where are we now? Among the Joes. I used to have an Anthrax bootleg vinyl. It was from their Among the Living tour. I traded it a long time ago for 2 patches. You got to do what you got to do. What's your next concert plans? Mine's Tons of Rock Festival in June. Metallica headlining Wednesday and Tool on Thursday. Nice. My next two concerts that are, I'm actually coming. God dang. So I'm going to see Descendants. I'm taking my wife to see Descendants when is that? Is that in March? I think that might be in March. They're playing with Circle Jerks. I like Circle Jerks. Not super interested in seeing them, but I love Descendants. And they're playing with Adolescents. So that's like all these classic punk bands all in one night. So that's kind of cool. And then I don't know. I don't remember what month it is, but we're going to the we're going to see Cannibal Corpse with Frozen Soul. Who else is playing? I don't remember. But headlining is Amon Amarth, which means that we're just going to go home early. But not that I don't like Amon Amarth, but we have dogs. But my wife's really into Cannibal Corpse and Frozen Soul, and so we're going to go to that. Who's the other band? There's another band that's good that's playing that show too. Anyway, we're going to that, but also we're taking my daughter to her first 2 concerts that she chose to go to. Like, she wanted to go to these. And the first one is an artist called Jiraiya that she's really into. We're going to see him. He's very weird. He's genreless. He's for lack of a better comparison, he reminds me of like a young Mr. Bungle, all over the place. And then we're going to take her to see Melanie Martinez, who's like a pop, kind of an odd alternative pop kind of thing. My daughter's really into her as well. So we're taking her to those 2 shows. So that's what I'm doing. Hold on. All right, let's see. Houston does have a lot of great beer. I spend so much money on records that I drink Keystone. But yes, there is a lot of great beer in Houston. And let's see, where are we now? Is it Obituary? You're right. It is Obituary playing with them. So yeah. So it's literally Frozen Soul followed by Obituary followed by Cannibal Corpse. And then we're going to go home because we're old. But Amon Amarth is also playing. So this will be the second time that I've left before Amon Amarth plays. But Neil, whatever. They're very good looking dudes. Let's just say that. Let's see. No plans for Iron Maiden Future Past tour. Probably not, because it's going to be too expensive and in a big venue, and I'm not interested. I don't know if it's coming through here. Nicholas Fisher, what's your favorite DRI song? I've recently got into them. Oh man, so a song that has a lot of memories for me by DRI is the song Acid Rain from their Definition album, which came out in 92. I think that was 92. I really like that one, but for their earlier stuff, oh man, Hooked. I love Hooked. 5-Year Plan is a fucking killer album opener. It's so hard to pick a favorite off of Dealing With It, because the whole album's fucking great. I don't know. Just listen to Dealing With It and then followed by Crossover. I don't know. It's hard to pick a favorite. All right, let's see. Vengeance Falls. Your wife, he's saying my wife, is a great woman. I still love it that you got her into death metal. I didn't really even try to do that. That was just me playing the music, and then she kept commenting like, "Oh, I'm into this," and I'm like, "Wait, so you're into this death metal thing?" And then it just sort of led to that. So it's pretty fucking sweet. Hold on, let's see. Met 101. Any thoughts on the recent Slipknot news? What? I don't know. I'm not a fan, so I don't know what the news was. What was the Slipknot news? Are they going to do an album like Avenged Sevenfold and finally win me over? That would be great. They got to do a weird album, a legit weird album. Let's see. Dax says Kurt lives in Houston. Oh, he does? I mean, they're from Houston, but I didn't know he moved back here. Chris Heath. Oh, hold on. DRI is the band with riff albums to me, but I love them. Yeah, I agree. Chris Heath said, speaking of Acid Rain, the band, has a new album on the way. It's probably going to be a little while, but don't tell anybody. But I've heard now 3 or 4 demos, and they're all really good. So, yeah. Let's see. All right. Miller says apologies for the typos. What did you? Oh, here we go. Promised my kid who is 10 that I'd take home to see Iron Maiden the next time they come to Australia. Oh, okay. Nice. I don't even, I skim read anyway, so I didn't even notice any typos. Matt 101. Okay, just new drummer update. I don't get it either. A new drummer of Slipknot. Okay. They let Jay Weinberg go. Okay. Old head is going to get in trouble for that. In trouble for what? What did I? Oh, for the acid rain thing? Nah. No, I'm not saying anything else except for I've heard them and they're good. Houston's best metal band of all time is Dead Horse. I like Dead Horse. So I can't really argue with that. I don't know if I would say that's the best metal band from Houston, but who the fuck would it be? I don't know. Anyway. All right. So how's everybody doing? What time is it? It's 8 o'clock. Who's got to go home? Anybody got to go home? we can keep this shit going. Chris Heathcote. Now that we're talking about new drummers, I've heard the rumors of talk of Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson resurrecting Rush with a new drummer. Not sure if it's a good idea, in my opinion, though. They didn't necessarily say resurrecting Rush with a new drummer. They said playing Rush songs again and playing together again, but they wouldn't. I don't think that they're gonna. It's gonna be something. If they actually do that, it's gonna be something super cool, where they somehow make it a special event that celebrates Neil Peart, but also gives somebody something really fun and interesting, and not just a new drummer. I feel like that's what they would do. Yeah, I mean, if Geddy and Alex do a new sorry, my dogs are being loud. If Geddy and Alex do a new project, I mean, I'm on board. I'm not one of those people that thinks that they should stop playing together because Neil died. That doesn't work that way. Colin said, what are your thoughts on 72 Seasons after nearly a year of it being out? Well, it was my number one album of 2023, if that tells you anything. It actually grew on me. I liked it a lot when it came out, and I ended up liking it even more the more that I listened to it. So I don't really, I'm not really the person to ask, because I'm such a huge fan of theirs that when Hardwired to Self-Destruct came out, an album that I am critical about in many ways, it was still my favorite album of the year. So if that tells you anything. So Chris says, if it's not a Rush reunion with just Geddy and Alex, I will support whatever. Yeah, I'll support them as well. Met 101, 72 Seasons is fantastic. Crown of Barbed Wire. Crown of Barbed Wire is one of my favorites. I honestly really, it's hard for me to pick favorites, because I'll hear some song from that album and that one will be the one that jumps out as one that I really like. Vengeance Falls. What was your opinion on the Pantera tribute tour? I think a lot of people were in over their heads about that tour. I talked about it on, what is this? Hold on, I'm going to do this. Mr. King of Florida says, I came here to meet a miner. Bro. I don't think there are any miners here. A lot of old people are here, so I apologize for that. Anyway, so I talked about it a bit on my Metallica, like the concert show. You're 21. Okay, I don't know what that means. Okay, and so the Pantera thing, I had a very good time listening or watching them play, and just the vibe of the room. The crowd wasn't as excited as I thought they were going to be for Pantera. This was when they played before Metallica. But the thing that I said in the video still rings true, where as much as I love Charlie Benante and he's an excellent drummer, and then Zakk Wylde, he plays guitar good too, I guess. It sounded weird. Like there's a certain thing that Dime and Vinny did when they played that made the songs what they were. It's not just, I mean, Phil and Rex honestly are the least important part of Pantera. So I enjoyed hearing the songs. It was fun, but I'm like, man, it's like a gaping hole in all of the songs. And so I didn't hate it, but I wouldn't pay to go see that again, if that makes any sense. Greg Bob, I'm hoping for a new Dan Reed Network album and tour. I'm, you know what? To be completely honest, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking like, I'm going to try to do a little research and I'm going to try to find Dan Reed and see if I can get him to come on my channel. And then we might do a Dan Reed Network ranking on Cranked and Ranked to sort of celebrate the occasion. I'm going to try. I don't know. That might be a thing that we do. Let's see. Worst reviews. Do you recall it being particularly difficult to get a hold of Rush's first album on vinyl? No. No, I got it. I don't know what version my pressing is. I think my pressing is 74 or something. But I didn't pay a lot of money for it. It's not an amazing shape, but it's, it's probably a VG for sure. But yeah. Let's see. Isak says it's that cowboy swing. That may be what it was. Matt 101, love Zach, but it wasn't the sound you were explaining. Yeah. I'm a fan of Zakk Wylde as Ozzy Osbourne's guitar player, and it stops there. Just because I can go on record and say the worst band I've ever seen is Black Label Society. It was, and probably I'm going to qualify that because there are bands that are legitimately bad, like younger bands that don't play very well, or people that aren't very talented, or whatever. There are bands that are legitimately bad, and they get a pass because they're bad bands. Black Label Society have a lot of fans, and all seem like very capable musicians, but it was the most boring thing I had ever seen. And all the songs were really boring. And I'm just like, so that it's the worst one. They're the worst band I've ever seen because they get hyped up as like something great. And I'm like, they're not. He's a good guitar player. That's literally as far as it goes. You can tell that I'm getting a little bit tipsy because I'm starting to talk shit. All right. Greg Bob says Phil is rumored to be the new singer of Kerry King's solo album. No fucking way. So I hope he doesn't do that, because I guarantee you the Nazi jokes will never stop. They will never stop. So he shouldn't do that. So anyway, Chris Heathcote, without Diamond Vinny, it's like Van Halen without Eddie and Alex. Yeah, I agree. I don't, I'm okay with seeing some Van Halen. If, I would like to go see that thing that Sammy Hagar is doing, but it's not Van Halen, but it'd be fun to see those songs played, let's see. Greg Bob, Dan Reed lives in Europe. And then Anar says, you sure Dan Reed is still alive? I'm going to find out. Miller. Hold on. Sorry, I didn't mean to go back. I heard Phil was on the Epstein's list. Phil Anselmo couldn't get on that plane. He'd be like, who the fuck are you? Anyway, let's see. So Chris, Nemesis, the new band Old Head, has been playing on Amp and Station. It ain't bad. Great. Oh yeah, they're from Houston. So Nemesis is, to me, like if there's a band a young band from Houston that I think eventually you're going to hear a lot about, it's Nemesis, because their first album I think is a lot of fun and really well done. But I saw them live, and it really made me feel like I was seeing Megadeth in 1985. Like it was that kind of performance and energy and fun. Nemesis, look them up. They have an album out called False Reality, and they just put out a new single, and it's also very good. Anyway, Among the Joes, sorry, not sorry, but I'm not a fan of Phil's vocals. I'm not really anymore, but man, I love Pantera. I'm unapologetically, with all the flaws of members of the band or what the fuck ever. There's a nostalgia with that band, and I absolutely love them. So I don't know. It's just one of those things where their music is kind of ingrained in me. And so I love Pantera, but I'm not, Phil did a lot of damage to his voice. So he, he does his best, the best that he can do. Chris Heath, Phil Collins greater than Phil Anselmo. Yeah, absolutely, Chris. That's not even up for debate. Phil Collins is a million times. I'll go see Pantera with Phil Collins singing for them. Anyway, all right, Nicholas Fisher, thoughts on White Zombie? I love White Zombie. This is another one of those things where like I have to talk shit. I don't think Rob Zombie has done anything very good since White Zombie broke up. I love the early White Zombie albums. They're all kind of weird. And I love the ones they got popular with. I think they were such a fucking cool band. And then he just started doing this music that's just like, it's fine, but something about it, there's an energy that just kind of went away from his shit. But hey, you know what? He was really fucking successful. So who the fuck am I? So, but yeah, White Zombie. Absolutely. They're a fucking great band. What's up with new bands using the word reality in their album titles? I have no idea. It happens. Great minds thinking alike or something like that. Chris Heathcote, imagine Phil Collins singing fucking Hostile. In his heyday, I'd be down for that. Let's see. Greg, the guitar solo on Sussudio is insane. Yeah. And the saxophone solo, don't forget that. Oh, I know those aren't saxophones; those are trumpets. I think on Sussudio. Anyway, Sam, thanks for being here. You agree with me about White Zombie? Awesome. Yeah, I don't know I don't know why they don't do a White Zombie reunion. I feel like a lot of people would like that. Who knows? I don't know enough about the band to know if some bad blood happened between them or whatever. Miller saw White Zombie. Oh, hold on. Met one. Is Phil still playing drums while singing Hostile? Well, Phil, when like Genesis and Phil Collins would play, like he would play drums only on some songs, and he had a drummer play on other ones. So there you go. Stevan says, "I dig educated horses. John 5 brought great energy." What is that? Is that White Zombie or Rob Zombie? Sam picked up Tune Mold today. Hell yeah. Tune Mold's fucking great. The 2023 was just packed with great death metal that I got overwhelmed. So I almost did a top 10 just death metal albums because I was like, I can't figure out where to put any of them. But there's a lot of really good ones. And Anar says, congrats on 5 years. Thank you, Anar. Thank you for being here. Thanks, everybody, for being here. I'm going to keep this shit going as long as you guys are down to clown, I guess, Weed knows you're late. Just I've heard some chat about White Zombie. Yeah, Rob Zombie was here earlier. You totally missed him. Anyway, all right, Anar has to go. It's very late where he is, so he's got to go. Cheers, Anar. Thank you very much for being here. Vengeance Fall says, right now I'm imagining Bron Daler doing a drum battle with Phil Collins. Oh, that'd be great. Although all this talk about Phil Collins, I'm worried about him because I don't think his health is doing very well. You see the footage of of Phil with this last Genesis tour, and I'm just like, oh man, he looks legit elderly, and so I'm hoping that maybe it's, you know, just one of those things where he's tired from the road and then he'll live on for another 20 years or so doing his own thing. He needs some time to rest. He's given the world so much good music. He needs some time to himself. Anyway, so I guess for those of you who weren't here earlier, I don't know if everybody heard, you know, a couple of the announcements that I have, so I'm going to run through them kind of like quick, like bands you should know coming back with limited bands. I'm going to do some more of those. A new show that's similar to Old Headbangers Ball, but isn't that, is coming, and that's going to be called The Watchening, and that's going to be me pretty much sticking to some particular theme per episode and not necessarily music videos, but the same kind of thing. And then another one of the big ones was, instead of doing like a radio show type thing, the first weekend of every month, and I'm trying it first in February, is going to be the Old Head Show on Zoom, meaning that on all of my socials, I'm going to be sending out a code to come to a Zoom meeting at a specific time, and I will do a radio show like I would normally do, where I play songs and talk about them. And literally only the people that want to be there are there. It's not on any kind of, you know, social media or app like YouTube. It's just, if you want to come to the Zoom and see my show, you can come. So that's what's going to happen, and some other things, but those are the big ones. Anyway, all right, hold on. Brody man, Noochie Nooch, thanks for being here. Hey, old head. As an outcast high school kid, I wanted to come and give you a huge thanks for you and your podcast with Eddie for expanding my music taste that is genuinely life-saving for mom. Man, thank you, Brody. That was a Mallrats quote, by the way, because one of the characters in Mallrats is Brody. Anyway, that's so great. Thank you. I'm glad that we're able to, whatever we're able to do, even if we're just distracting you for a little bit, that's wonderful. But if we're able to turn you on to some good music or help expand, you know, the shit that you listen to, man, that's what we do as well. Like, there's so many bands that we do that lead me to getting into other stuff. And then outside of Cranked and Ranked, all the other shit that I do, I'm constantly in discovery mode, not just with newer bands, but also with bands that have existed forever and that I didn't give enough time to, like Judas Priest recently this year, I got into. So it's just one of those things where I love any kind of connection I can have with you guys. So I'm glad that you're here, Brody. Jarmud, are you a Peter Gabriel fan? No. That's all I'm going to say about that. I am not a Peter Gabriel fan. Vengeance Falls, I'm really excited about bands. What? Bands you should know. Everybody laughing. No, I'm just kidding. Bands you should know is coming back. 2024 is going to kick ass. It is. Chris, I may do that. Nemesis for bands you should know. That actually is a very good idea. Thank you, Chris, because like they're virtually unknown. That is a band you should know. Met 101, are you still playing guitar? No, I'm not going to play guitar right now. Yeah, I just put out a new track. How long ago did my new track come out? 3 weeks ago? A month ago? I have a solo project called Supporting Actor, and I just released a new song called Shift. And you can find it on socials. You can also find it on YouTube as well. But yeah, I still play guitar, not as much as I used to, but you know, I still have this desire to make music, but I don't want to be in a band. I'm tired of that. 25 years of that was enough for me, and I got very tired of it. So now I just sort of do shit on my own whenever the mood hits me, and that's my new track. So yes, I still occasionally play guitar. Sam, any thoughts on Portrayal of Guilt? Is that a band? I don't, right offhand, that doesn't spring to mind who that is. So maybe I need to check them out. Are they a death metal band? Then I need to check them out. Vengeance. I'm just kidding. You know, don't worry about typos. Met 101. Not enough Keystone yet. No, I don't know if there's enough Keystone in the world for me to just bust out a guitar. Although I might play Wonderwall. You never know. Oh, thanks, Nicholas. Shift is a killer tune. Thank you very much. I'm just going to leave that up on the screen for a little bit. there you go. Look at it. Shift. Oh, hold on, Matt. I love Shift. Thank you. Yeah. That's what I'm doing. I mean, I keep pretty busy all the time with all this shit. I think probably it would be very boring to watch a documentary about me putting together all the shit that I do, but it does take a lot out of me in my brain. I think a lot about what I'm going to do. So, but no, you guys don't even know that. The shit just comes out. Weed knows, when is the ST cranked and ranked? They're on the list. They are coming. Trust me, they are coming. I would love to do Suicidal. Chris Heathcote, if it wasn't for your bands, you should know videos, I wouldn't have gotten more into Acid Rain or Fudge Tunnel. 2 amazing bands. Everybody go listen to Fudge Tunnel. When this is over, everybody just go listen to whatever Fudge Tunnel you can find. Do it immediately. Hey, James, what's up? James Ray, congratulations on 5 years. Always stoked on seeing records. I love getting records. It's just the best. I don't know why. Why is that the fucking best thing in the world? Also, did anybody notice at the beginning, can everybody see this? You can't see my cursor, this image that's up here. Can everybody see that? It was in the very beginning of the episode. That's probably going to be my new, I don't know where to point. The new thing that represents me online and whatnot. That was done with AI on that new Microsoft image creator thing. I've been fucking around with that a lot, and I spent a good week trying to come up with the right combinations of words to create an image that I thought I could use for something. And finally, I came upon that one. I'm like, looks like a fucking comic book cover of me. And so I'm like, I'm going with that. Anyway, I don't know if it's there, but it's up here, somewhere around here. Anyway, all right, what are we doing here? Hold on. So Old Head, if my band comes to Houston, you want to open for us? I will come to your show, but no. Unless your band wants to show up early and learn all my songs, and then I'll play with you guys, then cool. We have another person for Betrayal of Guilt. All right, I gotta check them out. That's right, Met 101, Fudge Tunnel. Yeah, right, Vengeance, Nail Bomb's really cool too. Absolutely, anything related to Alex Newport is fucking rad. Thanks, Chris. You're seeing the new Avatar. Yeah, I'm very proud of that. And more beer. So, what do we do now? All right. So I want to keep this thing going at least for maybe another half hour or so. So if you guys have other questions or whatever, anything you want me to talk about or elaborate on, I'll do that because I'm here. I don't do these very often. There's floaties in the air. Floaties. Okay. And so I'm going to try to be here, an open book for you guys. So anybody have any questions? Anybody have anything that's been on their mind? Anything? Is there anything that you've always wanted to ask me that you're like, I don't think I should ask that? Ask it now, right here. Do it. All right. Oh, Weed Nose is talking about the Dark Roots of Earth. Yeah, I got that colored vinyl. It's, that's a great repress of that album. And now I just have one more Testament album to go. Sam, thank you for the question. What's your most valuable record? Funny enough, I think that I looked this up before, and my most valuable record technically is one of my wife's. She has a Selena live album that apparently is worth a lot of money. But mine, it's probably, it's probably one of two, because I have 86 pressings of Master of Puppets and Rain and Blood. And they're both in pretty good shape. Not amazing, but pretty good shape. So I'm pretty sure both of those probably would go for a good amount of money. So, Nicholas Fisher, have you seen Big Trouble in Little China? Fuck yes, I have. Okay, look, great movie. I love Kurt Russell. Love him. All of the John Carpenter movies, I can't think of one I've seen that I didn't utterly enjoy. But Big Trouble in Little China is a special one for me because I loved it so much when I was a kid. And I just watched it again 6 months ago, maybe. Yeah, with my wife. And I was just so surprised at how much I still enjoyed it. And I'm just like, that's great. If a movie from my childhood can hold up that much. So yeah, I love Big Trouble in Little China. Matt 101, what format of vinyl do you prefer? I don't know what you mean. I don't have any I don't really care about what kind of pressing it is, because I have stuff from the 70s and 80s that's very floppy, and it sounds fucking amazing. And then people will put out these 180 gram pressings of things that are supposed to be amazing, and to me, they don't sound very good. So I don't know. I just want it to be whoever puts out the record. I want them to care about it. Fucking care about it. Whoever does the vinyl mastering, I want you to care about what you're doing. Whoever's putting together the packaging, care about it, please. If you don't care about it, don't put it out. Fuck it. So that's all I have to say about that. All right. Hey, Damage Inc. 2001. What is up? Thank you for being here to celebrate 5 years. Vengeance Falls. I think I asked this before, but were you ever a fan of pro wrestling? No, not really, but I do have a story that I like to tell about pro wrestling. I don't know. I think I told it on a Cranked and Ranked one time, but I'll tell it again because I love it. So I had a best friend for a while that I met when I was in junior high, and we were best friends, by high school. We were best friends, and we, very close friends through a lot of our 20s. And he got really into wrestling. And so he was like, well, you should come with me to Monday Night Raw. Was it Monday Night Raw? And so this has got to be like 99, 2000, I think. Maybe somewhere around there. So we went to one of these Monday Night Raw things that happened in Austin where they filmed it for TV. So I don't know if it's out there and you can see me on it, but we were pretty fucking close. We were, I don't know, maybe like 3 or 4 rows from the ring. And we got to see, like, The Rock was there, China, was Stone Cold Steve Austin there? He may have been there too. I don't remember. But the cool thing was, before them, the entire opening act was luchadors, and that was fun as fuck. But anyway, here's my story. So we're there, and like the crowd's all kind of rowdy and stuff. And I just remember watching one of the earlier, matches. I don't even know who it was, but the crowd's all crazy and yelling at some guy that's like the villain guy, or whatever. And I hear this little kid behind me, and I swear to God, he yells, "You're a cocksucker!" And I go, "What the fuck?" And so I turn around, and it's a little kid on his dad's shoulders, and his dad immediately goes, "Yeah, you suck dick." And I was just like, that is some father-son bonding right there, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, that was my experience. I saw China, rest in peace, China, and I saw The Rock before he was a movie star. So there you go. Anyway, so hold on. I'm trying to catch up here. Oh, Johnny G, thank you for being here. What kind of record player do you have? I have a Fluence RT80, which isn't the best Fluence you can get, but I've had it for a while. It's held up really well. But I highly recommend Fluence because I love it. It sounds fucking great, and it's a high quality turntable that's relatively affordable. It's not $100. You're going to pay, I think mine was like $300, and you'll pay anywhere from $300 to $600, I think, for the turntables they have. But Fluence it's to me great quality shit. I'm not super picky, but I've never had any issue with this record player. So he says, I went to cassettes, from cassettes to CDs and then to streaming. So I've been curious if there's upgrades to the record sounds. Not sure if my question makes sense. So, I mean, not really. When it comes to the sound of a record, there hasn't really been much of an upgrade because newer records, you're going to find a lot that don't sound that great. I would say that if you want to get into records, the number one thing that you need to want is just the experience of having the big record, taking it out, putting it on the thing, having the big liner notes. Like if you get pleasure out of that, then great, because you can find great sounding shit everywhere. If you really are wanting like good sounding stuff and you don't give two shits about what the format is, then just stick to CDs or, streaming has gotten a lot better. There's much more high quality streaming now, but download some FLAC files from, Bandcamp or whatever. I don't know. I just, I don't, in some ways, I enjoy vinyl more occasionally because of the sound, but the sound has to do with the vinyl imperfections. So I have, I have an old hip hop album from the 80s. If it doesn't have a bunch of pops and crackles in it, it's not right. So I love that sound, but another person would be like, why would you even want that? It's not a pristine copy. And I'm like, well, that's not what I'm in it. I'm not into it for that. So, it just kind of follow your heart. Like if there's something in it that calls to you, give it a shot. But you can get Audio-Technica turntables for maybe $150. And that's a nice starter to really like find out if you want to do it, and then if you want to do it, you'll upgrade from there. But yeah, thanks Johnny for being here. Let's see. The guy you knew, thanks for being here. My older brother is definitely an old head, while I'm still more into 2000s, 2010 stuff. Any albums or bands you think best bridge the gap? Oh fuck, I don't really know. It would have to be something from the 90s, but I don't really. Carcass, go to Carcass, listen to Carcass, because I think if you go through their catalog, they have a more modern version of their sound now. But in the 90s they were really ahead of their time in a lot of ways. I don't know. It depends on what kind of metal you're into, but just try metal from the 90s, something from the 90s. I don't know. Damage Plan. I love my Project Carbon. Those are expensive, aren't they? I don't have that kind of money. I could do without the buzzing, but it sounds monstrous when playing some louder records. Oh, it buzzes? Mine doesn't. I'm going to say right here, I've never had an issue with buzzing with my Fluence. So, all right. Yeah, Greg has a good point. There's nothing like having a physical copy of your favorite band. That's another big thing, is that like, the record collecting for me is less about the collection and more about me just liking the experience and having these albums I love in the biggest, most, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. It's the most interaction you're going to have with your music that you're listening to, because it's either on your phone or on a CD or a big ass record. And I think that's why I like it, because it's the biggest experience you're going to get. So I love that. Weed Nose said, was playing video games the other day and was listening to a bunch of Cannibal Corpse vinyls. That sounds like a good day right there. What games were you playing? I don't know any of the games. Damage Inc. I get that for sure. Brings character to the record and also shows how much it is breathed. Yeah, I love getting, like, Perfect for me is an album I love from the 80s where the vinyl is in very good shape. Maybe a couple blemishes, but for the most part, very good shape. The cover, I want all of the what do you call them? The spines intact. But everything else, I want a little bit of wear and tear. I want a little bit of a ring. I love that. I don't know. I love it. Because you see so many people out there creating like artwork, trying to recreate that vibe. And I'm like, you just buy the record that has that vibe. It's right there. So here we go. Matt 101. I loved when I got to use an 8-track just for an experience, and I'm 30 years. So I love the vinyl outlook you have. Well, thank you. Yeah, I haven't used an 8-track since I was a kid, my older brother had an 8-track player. Oh, that's a good one. Rachel Nell, thank you. Faith No More to bridge the gap. That is a good one, to bridge the gap between old school and modern. So many modern bands have been influenced by Faith No More. So yeah, Faith No More. Yeah, that's a good one. Thank you. And thank you for being here. Damage Inc. Heartwork is my favorite Carcass album. It's one of my favorite albums of all time. I absolutely love it. Yeah, it depends on what kind of metal you're into, but yeah, you can find those bands that came out in the 90s that have greatly influenced a lot of the bands that you probably like from the 2010s and beyond. All right, hold on. We knows something I've noticed about listening to vinyls is it's much harder to skip tracks. So you have to listen. Well, yeah, why would you want to skip tracks? That's not the point. You listen to an album. Yeah, you know, that's what I don't understand. If somebody tries to skip tracks, I don't know if my daughter's doing that, because I got her a record player and some records. And I think she just puts it on and goes on her bed and listens to the album all the way through, which I love. She's 12 going on 13. She already has a little bit of a record collection. And I'm just adding to that now. So now there's that. Not only do I buy shit for myself all the time, now I'm constantly being like, oh, she would probably want this. So great. There goes all the money. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, Rachel, Angel Dust might do the trick. I mean, one of the greatest albums ever made. Give it a shot. Vengeance Falls. I'm jealous of your record collection, old head. I find that the older I get, I don't really give two shits about video games anymore. Just pretty much pay attention to music. I understand that. I played video games when I was a young teenager and I had a Nintendo. I really loved the original Batman game on NES. Loved it. Gremlins 2, another great one on NES. Blades of Steel, the hockey game. That one's great. Super Dodgeball. These are all the games I remember playing from back in the day. But eventually, music overtook that, and I stopped playing video games. So, I stopped playing video games, started just getting into music, and it's never stopped. It's been ever since then. It's been however many years, math and whatnot. Yes, Devon, all those are good ideas. Deftones, Tool, Machine Head, Korn, Rage, 9 Inch Nails. Yeah. Chris you have 300. Nice. That's a good one. I almost have 2,000. Almost. I'm this close. So I would say, give me 6 months or so. Weedno said the only modern bands I'm really into are Mastodon and Propagandhi. Propagandhi started in the early 90s. Can you even call them modern? But Mastodon for sure. Love Mastodon. Stevan, 90s Beasties rule. Beastie Boys fucking rule, period. All right, another beer drink. I'd say I'm probably going to wrap this up about 9 Central. So we got about 20 minutes. If anyone has any questions or you want my opinion on something or whatever. Hard to choose between Angel Dust and King for a Day. Yeah, King for a Day was a really important album for me because I remember it came out my junior year of high school, and I got strep throat and I was at home recovering, and I remember listening to King for a Day over and over and over again. So it always brings me back. It was like a comfort to me while I was miserable for a few weeks. I hear Black 74. Thanks for being here. Thank you, Old Head, for sharing your knowledge and perspective on music that I love. You make it possible to enjoy the music that I love even more. Awesome. Thank you. Slashed and Mashed, the 2 Wrathchild America albums. That's a good one. That's where I think Eddie and I need to go, where we go to bands that only put out 2 records and we smash them and mash them, or slash them and mash them. Yeah. Thanks for being here. Chris, Favorite modern group that's not rock or metal is the Northern Boys. they're like the old Beastie Boys. They're very funny. Check out the Northern Boys. I will agree to that. Damage Inc. What do you prefer, live DVDs, VHS, or live albums on CD vinyl? So, if there's video of it, I'm probably going to get that first. So I have a lot of live VHS. So because I don't know, for a good example, I have the live Priest VHS from, what is it, 86, 87? But I don't have the vinyl of that because I'm just like, well, I can watch it on this. I don't need to listen to that. But on the same token, you can, I have what would essentially be Exit Stage Left from Rush on a VHS, but also I have the live album because I love Rush. So it just depends. But like if there's a video version of it, I want to get it because I like to watch the performance. But some performances are just so fucking good that if there's a vinyl, I'm going to get it. Let's see. Met 101, have a great night, old head. Thanks for being here, Matt. It's been great. Thank you for all the questions. Hope to see you soon. Chris says maybe do that to Forced Entry. Yeah, I think they had 2 albums and an EP, so we could easily do Forced Entry. Vengeance Falls. So you're a fan of hip hop. What's your opinion on Juggalo rap? What does that mean? Aren't Juggalos? Isn't that just Insane Clown Posse? Are there a bunch of other people like them? I'm not a fan of it, but one of my favorite things ever when I'm feeling down is I will watch the video for the song Miracles by Insane Clown Posse, because it is the stupidest song ever made. And I laugh so loud like every time I watch that. If you haven't seen that, go look up Insane Clown Posse Miracles, because it's just an entire song of them rapping about things that they are calling miracles, but they're just easily explained by science. So, but one of my favorite lines from that is one of the guys in between a verse and a chorus. He goes, music is a miracle too. You can't even hold it. It's just there in the air. Amazing shit. But they're not kidding. As far as I know, those dudes are serious. They're seriously not all there. And they do rap music. So, let's see. I'm going through here. What do we got here? Here we go. Yeah. I love people who don't understand magnets. Yeah, that's one of the lyrics. Magnets. How do they work? I mean, you could just look that up. Johnny G says, I'm still bummed out on Crypta not making your 2023 albums of the year or Overkill. It's been a few weeks. You might have already thought about adding Crypta to the list. No. I like the Nervosa album more than the Crypta album. So if any of the albums would have been on my list, it would have been Nervosa. Overkill, I enjoyed that album when I listened to it. And then I never went back to it. And so that alone is the reason why it didn't go on my list. Plus, there's so many albums that I listen to throughout the year that I really have to go with the ones that after I was done listening to them, I thought about them to where I wanted to go listen to them again. That's how my lists end up working out, because there are so many albums that if somebody came to me and said, this is my number one album, I'd say, fuck yeah, it's fucking killer. But it may have been an album that I heard and I went, so fucking great. And then I just never thought about it again because it didn't have that kind of pull for me. So the Crypta album's fine. It didn't do much for me. And then the same thing with Overkill. But that's just me, just one man's opinion. Like I don't, that's why I try to stress that they're my favorite albums. They're not the best, because there's plenty of really great music out there that some of it I don't even hear. And then other stuff doesn't click with me the way that it clicks with other people. And that's fine. I'm just one person. I'm I'm one outlet for you to get a viewpoint of. But mine's not special. Maybe it is, right? I have to think that it's special if I keep fucking doing videos, right? Let's see. Yeah, Obituary also came out with an album in 2023, which I really enjoyed, and then it just didn't stick for me. But I love Obituary. Weedno says, I Hear Black is the last great Overkill album, in my opinion. I am not going to disagree with that because I really like that one. But you're talking to the person that I loved when the thrash bands got a little bit experimental in the 90s and did some different shit. And when they all started to come right back to like, oh, we're going to do all this same shit again, that's when I went, look, I like what you're doing. It's just not as interesting to me. So, yeah. Vengeance says, I have 2 records pre-ordered for this year. What are they? My pre-orders so far, Slope, the band Slope, that's pre-ordered. Jay Robbins has an album coming out. Jay Robbins from Jawbox. I love him, and his album's going to fucking rule. What else do I have pre-ordered? Skeletal Remains has been pre-ordered. Is that it so far for this year that I've pre-ordered? I don't know. That's all I can think of right now. Nicholas Fisher, do you still wear your suicidal hat? No, I don't. It's you can't see it, but it sits. There's a skull, a human-sized skull on one of my shelves, and my suicidal hat and bandana are on that. That's my little suicidal guy that's been decapitated or something. Stam, thank you for being here. Good night, old head. Looking forward to your upcoming videos. Thank you very much for being here. Yeah, thank you for being here and for watching. Oh yeah, I Hear Black. We were talking about you. You're the last good Overkill album. All right. Okay, Vengeance Falls. Pre-order the new Job for a Cowboy. I think that's going to be pretty cool. I'm going to check that out when it comes out. Upon Stone. Who's Upon Stone? Vengeance. Look at that. See? I'm not an expert. There's a lot of things that I don't know. Chris Heath, Independent, KSAD, Sound of White Noise, I Hear Black. Yeah, exactly. That era of those bands, 100% love them. Best concert I went to this last year. I talked about this earlier, but I'll hit on it again. The best thing I went to this last year was the Wrecking Ball Metal Madness thing in Dallas with Dying Fetus, Frozen Soul, all sorts of bands. Just because it was such an amazing experience, and so many of the bands were so fucking good, but just the overall experience of everything. It was just a perfect weekend, and everything was perfect. If you watch the video I did on my YouTube of the weekend, you can see. But it was just, I expected to have a good time, but I had an amazing time. So that was my favorite one. I'm very much looking forward to seeing Cannibal Corpse in a few months with Obituary and Frozen Soul. But we'll have to see who else comes through. I don't really know. Let's see. Damage. I'm going to hit you. Oh, you're going to hit the hay. All right. Well, thank you very much for being here. And yeah, We Know's best thing I went to was Suicidal Tendencies. They didn't play around here, or I would have gone. But where was the Suicidal show you went to? I don't know. I'd very much like to see them again. Upon Stone is a band that have a sound similar to the old school Swedish death metal. That could go either way with me, so I will definitely check them out. Chris, now that I mentioned independent, I'm really looking forward to some new Sacred Reich. Yep. I really hope they put out an album. They just announced on their Insta. I said Insta, like I'm a fucking millennial, or a Gen Zer. They posted that we should be expecting a new Sacred Reich. Did I say Suicidal? Sacred Reich. My brain is in two different places. Sacred Reich. And okay, Suicidal was in Sydney. Nice. Yeah, I would like to see Infectious Grooves do more shit and play live. Yeah. Really? 24/7 Spies, new album? I'm on board for that. Yeah. So I would love to. This is one I would like to go. Yeah, Mr. Bungle in March and Carcass in May. Mr. Bungle keeps playing shows and they don't come through my neck of the woods. So I would really like to see them, especially this lineup of the band. Absolutely. So. All right. Well, you know what? I'm going to wrap it up a little bit early, but I appreciate everybody being here. And thank you for all your questions. And thank you for supporting me for however long you've been supporting me. If it's been 5 years or 5 minutes, I don't care. I appreciate anyone that's ever watched anything that I've done, because that's why I do it. The interaction with you guys is why I do it. And thank you for being here. And also, like I said, keep on the lookout. If you're not following me on my socials, follow me on all my socials. You can see on YouTube, I usually have a link tree. But when I do some of these things like the Zoom party I'm talking about, I'll be posting links to how to get to the Zoom party. And I hope to see a lot of you there, and a lot more videos to come. So I'm not slowing down. I love doing this, and I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Chris, Vengeance, Rachel, Among the Joes, Chris, Stevan, Weednose, Nicholas, everybody. I'm just going up here. Greg, dare I say Damage, everybody. I Hear Black. Everybody that's been here. You guys are fucking awesome. The shitheads. Diarmwid. God damn it, I hate your name because I'm always struggling with it. But yeah, you guys are awesome. You're the best shitheads in the world. And so, yeah, new videos coming soon. I don't think I have anything coming out this next week because I'm doing this live thing, but the following week after that, back to the grind. So thanks everybody. You guys are amazing. And, I'll see you soon. Thanks for an amazing 5 years. And here's to 5 more. Bye everybody.